Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello, welcome to my channel for the very first time, and welcome all of you to my channel for the very first time this year. It is officially 2025, and that's just so exciting because one, the year I graduate high school, I am so excited to almost be done with my senior year. It's actually kind of crazy. I've been waiting for this moment to come for so long. Like, I've been wanting to graduate high school since like middle school. But not only that, I am starting college in the fall, which is also very exciting. This is a very exciting milestone that I've been waiting to hit for the longest time. I've literally been planning for college for forever. Everything that I have done in school has been leading up to getting into a college that I want to go to, which I did, and we'll talk about that later on in the video. And actually the college is somewhere up here. You can't see it though. It's not this one and it's not that one. It's all the way up there. But I did get into my dream school and I'm super excited to go, and I will be attending because they gave me a pretty good financial aid package. But we'll talk about that when we get into how my year went. So since the new year started, I figured it would be fun to kind of come in and do a recap of how 2024 went for me and reflect on that and kind of set goals for 2025 and start thinking about how I want this year to go and how I want to live my life differently than I lived it in 2024. So we're going to get into some pretty exciting stuff. Not really, it's just a lot of personal growth that I want to get into, but I think it's good to do this and reflect on this and to put this out on the internet to hold myself accountable, because I feel like if other people see this, then I will feel more inclined to actually follow through. So we're going to start. First, we're going to start off with how my 2024 went. Now, when we're talking about each of these years, when we're talking about 2024 and my goals for 2025, we're going to be focusing on 4 major areas of my life. These 4 major areas that we're going to be focusing on for each year are my mental and physical health, my hobbies, my academics, and my work life. So we're going to start off with how my 2024 went, and we're starting off with my mental and physical health. Low-key, 2024 was not my year when it came to mental or physical health. So I think it's good to kind of reflect on that and see how my mental health and my physical health were kind of intertwined and how they kind of connected to each other. Actually, we're going to start off with the fact that in 2024 I did not work out as much as I should have and as much as I did in 2023. I was going into my, what year of high school? I started in 2021. 2022 was the start of my sophomore year. So 2023 was like the start of my junior year. I worked out a lot that summer. It was kind of crazy. I worked out every single day and I felt so healthy, and I actually lost weight that year, which is the first year that I've done that since like middle school. I was so excited. And then summer of 2024, I fell off. I don't think I worked out at all that year except for summer practice for tennis, which is not good. I definitely should have worked out more on my own, just to like not from looks, but just for my own like general health. 2024, I gained a good amount of weight from 2023, and it was noticeable too. I will admit I did not like the way that I looked in 2024. I didn't like the way my body looked. I know there's this entire thing about not putting a lot of value on looks and like the way your body is, but I will be completely honest, and it's okay to not love the way your body looks. And I'll be completely honest, I didn't love the way my body looked this past year. So that's definitely something that I want to work on this year, because I want to be happy and comfortable within my body. And that's really all that matters. It doesn't matter how your body looks. It just matters if you're comfortable in it. And personally, I was not comfortable in my body this past year. So that's something I want to work on. And I felt stress a lot of the time in 2024. Not only was it the start of my senior year, so I was focusing a lot on applying to colleges and applying to scholarships. I think I applied to 9 colleges within the span of like a month. So I was doing a lot of stuff. On top of that, pulling like 11 to 15 hours at work on Saturdays and Sundays. Like, I was working 11 to 15 hours within 2 days. So I was not only applying to a bunch of colleges, I was also working a lot over the weekends. I had tennis practice going on. I had tennis matches, and I was taking on an extremely heavy course load. I had dual credit. I had like college biology, college federal government, college algebra, and then AP literature and then On-Ramps Art and Entertainment Technologies, which is like On-Ramps is a course that you take through UT Austin. So I was taking On-Ramps Arts and Entertainment Technologies, AP Macroeconomics, and then my only regular class was physics. And so I had this really heavy course load going on top of practicing for tennis, on top of applying for colleges, on top of going to work, on top of like my other commitments with extracurriculars like student council and senior class. And I was just everywhere. And honestly, it was really, really taxing. I ended up just missing a day of school because I was so tired. And I've literally never done that in my entire life. But this year, I felt the need to just take a day to just sit at home and relax, because I hadn't done that in forever. And so I feel like really taking that time to focus on just not doing anything, just rotting in bed, felt so good. And I want to focus more on how I feel. You know, I can't get my goals done if I don't feel my best, and I can't do that if I'm stressed all the time. I can't do that if I'm doing everything at school. And so that's something that I really want to work on this year. I want to work on just being in the moment and just having fun and just being like a little bit less stress free. I also had the hardest time when it came to motivation. Towards the end of the semester, I just did not want to do anything. There came a point, if you know me in real life, you know that I have a panic attack when my grade hits an 89. There was a point this past semester where I had a 72 in biology, and I was gonna let that happen. I was gonna let that be on my report card. I was gonna let that be my semester grade for biology, a 72. And I was just having a really hard time with motivation, which is not something that I've ever had a hard time with, but this year it was insane actually. Basically, all of this to say, senioritis was a bitch. Like, actually, I just could not find the motivation to do anything towards the end of the semester. I still pulled through. I did pretty good when it came to academics this year, but my mental health was just not there. It was gone. It was absent. So yeah, that's how my mental and physical health did in 2024. Not the best. Now we're going to talk about my hobbies. 2024 was the biggest downfall when it came to my hobbies. I didn't make like any content for YouTube at all. I don't think I've turned on this camera since 2023. No, that's a lie. I turned on this camera one time this year, and that was to make my music video for Digital Slut. So I didn't really make any of my usual YouTube content, which is really sad because I love making these videos. I love just sitting down and talking and then just editing that talking, and it feels so good to just say everything, you know? I can just speak my feelings, you know? And it feels great. So I was definitely really bummed that I didn't make any content in 2024. My media classes, I was not passionate about them anymore. I took my senior level AV production class my junior year, and I barely did anything. And honestly, that entire class barely did anything. I think I made a good 3 videos for that class last year, and that was a majority of the content that was put out. I was like one of the main producers for that class, and I didn't even make that much content for it. And so that was also really sad, because I got into that program because I love media and I love recording stuff. I love editing, but the passion wasn't there. The creativity wasn't sparked. I just didn't know what to do. You know, my guitar sitting over there in the corner, I picked that up a few times this year. Just when I was writing my album, just because I wanted to finish it. I started the album, I wanted to finish it, and I did finish it, and I'm actually really proud of that album. But ever since then, I have not picked up my guitar, and I finished writing it in probably May or June. So I haven't picked up my guitar in a while, actually. I stopped singing for a good moment too. One of my biggest passions is singing. I started choir when I was in 4th grade, and I did it all the way until sophomore year of high school. Junior year, I just got really busy, and then this year, we don't even have a choir program anymore, which is actually kind of sad. I feel like I was pretty good at it too. It was my 7th grade year, I placed in our regional choir. I think I was almost in the top 10, maybe I was like 11th chair or something. 8th grade, I was 6th chair, so I was almost in the top 5. And then I didn't compete in region for my freshman year, just because our men's choir was so small that my teacher didn't really think that any of us wanted to do region. Sophomore year, I asked to do region, and I ended up placing 11th chair, and I got to do this really fun concert where we sang a lot of really great music and we sounded amazing. And I just missed that. I miss singing in a group and making like this big wall of sound that just kind of gives you goosebumps. I really miss choir so much. But even then, just singing in general is such a big passion of mine. Like, I love to sing pop songs. I love to sing musical theater. Musical theater is such a great outlet for singing because you can literally just belt and put all of your emotion into your singing, and it just feels wonderful. And that's something that I didn't do a lot of 2024. I did not sing a lot this year. So that's definitely something that I want to do more of in this coming year. And I already have. I sing a lot in my free time whenever I'm just alone. I'll put on some musical theater and I'll just literally just belt my heart out. And I've been watching a lot of musical bootlegs. I recently got into Phantom of the Opera and I love that musical so much. So yeah, I just want to get back into musicals, especially with where I'm going to college. Like, I'm going to be consuming a lot of musical theater. So I'm really excited for that. And I did watch a lot of movies and TV shows this year. That's something that I never really stopped doing. I think that's one hobby that I stuck out with. Now to talk about my academics. 2024 was actually a pretty good academic year for me. Over the summer, I went to SAT tutoring just to try and get my score up. I ended junior year pretty strong with getting all A's in all of my classes. My lowest grade was a 92, but even then, that 92 was in a dual credit class. So when my GPA calculations happened, that 92 became 102. So honestly, I did pretty good for myself junior year. And I went up one spot in my ranking. I went from number 6 to number 5, which was really exciting for me because it was a goal of mine junior year to get into the top 5 of my class. Now I'm trying to get into the top 4. I'm trying to be number 4. My SAT super score, so my highest SAT score was a 1270, but my super score, when I take my highest ELAR score and my highest math score, my super score is a 1310, which is actually really good. I did not expect myself to be able to get that high of a super score. I didn't think I was going to do well enough in either of the subjects, in either of the categories, to be able to pull that off. But I did pull that off. Still did not submit it to any colleges except for UT Austin because they required my score for some reason. I finished all of my college applications really early. I think I submitted my first ones at the end of August. For reference, most college application deadlines aren't even until like early January. So I submitted my college applications pretty quickly and pretty rapidly too. Like, I was cranking them out like nothing. And I applied to my dream college, which is New York University, NYU. I applied to it early decision 1 and got accepted right before winter break started. So needless to say, I was really excited and I committed already. So I'm really excited to be in New York for the next 4 years of my life. That's so exciting to me. And I ended my first semester of senior year with all of my grades above a 95, at or above a 95, with only one regular class on my schedule. So the rest of my classes were either AP or dual credit, and my lowest grade was a 95. So I'm actually really proud of myself for that, which is why I'm thinking hopefully I'll be number 4, like kind of praying that I'll be number 4, but we'll just have to wait and see. And I got a scholarship from the Valero Alamo Bowl, which they award to high school varsity athletes, and I got awarded that scholarship, which is $7,500 for my first semester. So that's really going to help with NYU because it's a very costly school. Now to talk about work, not my favorite topic, but I guess we'll talk about it because it's still something that is a part of my life and still part of goals that I have for this new year. I'm still working at the same job that I've had since summer of 2023. This year I got termed 2 times. Termed is basically when you don't work long enough and they just drop you from their system, so you're no longer an employee there. That happened one time because I got really busy at the end of my junior year. My managers came up with this plan where they wouldn't put me on the schedule and I would just pick up shifts whenever I was available to work. And that was working for a few weeks, and then I just forgot to work for like a month. And then when I went into work, I had gotten terminated because I hadn't worked long enough. So they rehired me and I worked for a few weeks. Then I went on a vacation to Washington, D.C. and I tried to log on to my employee portal, I guess, and it wasn't letting me log in, and it wasn't letting me log into my scheduling app either. And I brought it up with my managers. They looked it up, and apparently when they were going through their roster, they deleted duplicate employees because they were like deleting people from their roster who had gotten termed, and I guess they confused the people who were clearing out the roster didn't know that I was rehired. So they termed me again. And so we had to go through this entire like complicated process of trying to get me back on the roster. And I'd gotten a new employee ID number, and they had to like write down my hours and stuff. And it was really complicated. But I'm still working there, and I plan on keeping on working there until the summer before I go off to college. Then I'll get a job somewhere in New York, probably. I started the year making $13 an hour. Now I make $13.15 an hour. And actually, I can check if that's changed because they're supposed to do raises every quarter. So let me go check real quick. I'm currently checking. Okay, so there it is. Let's see if it focuses. Right there. $13.15 an hour. Still getting paid that much. We'll see if it goes up at some point this year. I hope it does. But yeah, that's how much I'm making on my job currently. I'm pulling like 11 hours a week right now because they've been giving me like 5 hours on Saturdays and 6 hours on Sundays. So my hours haven't been great, but granted, I still get to work, so I'm very lucky for that. No promotions this year. Still a team member, which is the same position that I've had since I started. I'm probably good enough to be a trainer for them now, but I think because I'm not consistent enough with working, they probably don't want to promote me to a trainer. And with the fact that they know that I'm moving away in August, they probably don't want to promote someone who's just going to leave soon. So I kind of understand that. But I have trained people without getting trainer pay. So a little salty about that, but life moves on. And yeah, that's my entire recap for 2024. So now we're going to get into my goals for 2025, what I want to accomplish and how I want things to change in these 4 different topics. So we're going to start off with my mental and physical health again. I want to get into the habit of working out every day. Recently, I started working out after practice. I get a lot of cardio in at tennis practice, so I've just been doing weights when I get home. And on days that I don't have tennis practice, I'll do cardio and weights. But I just want to get back into the habit of working out every day, really just for my own health. I want to feel healthy again, and I want to feel more confident within my own body. So I think that is something that'll really help me. I want to work on making commitments that I'm okay with keeping. I don't want to just say yes to everything because I know that realistically that's not going to work out for me. That's just going to put me in the same cycle of being stressed and frustrated all the time that I was in 2024, and I don't want to be in that again in 2025. I actually want to enjoy this year and enjoy the time that I have with my family and the time that I have with my friends. So I'm only going to make commitments that I'm okay with keeping. I'm going to give myself time to rest to avoid burnout. So if I feel like I'm getting really tired from balancing school and sports and extracurriculars and work, maybe I'll take the weekend off at work, like try and get someone to pick up my shift, maybe call in who really knows. But I just want to take some time to myself to avoid burning out as bad as I did in 2024. And I want to stop placing a bunch of value on trivial aspects of academic success. I want to really stop getting stressed over if my grades are perfect, because I've learned that grades are not a full reflection of how well you're doing in that subject. Sometimes you just fall short on some work, like you make one little mistake, and sometimes that takes a few points off your grade, and so what? It's fine. Obviously you don't want to be failing, and obviously a B or an A is ideal. But I want to stop making that my entire personality, which I feel like I've done for most of my life. I want to be a person outside of my academics. So yeah. And then the last thing that I wrote down was just spend more time doing things that make me happy, which is very broad, but very true. For my hobbies, I want to pick up my guitar again. I want to start playing regularly again just to get better, because I feel like I've lost some of my skill and I want to get that back. I want to get back into musical theater and classical singing. This will probably include just like singing musical theater on my own time, but also maybe joining a choir when I get to college, or maybe even joining a community choir now. I just really want to get back into those classical, like tall vowels, open throat singing, because it's so like cathartic, you know? I want to start writing music again, and I want to focus in more on content creation, especially for YouTube. I really miss making YouTube videos. I feel like this is a really great outlet for me because it really helps me get some of those creative juices flowing, like planning a video out, sitting down to actually film it and setting up my entire like background, and then going to edit the video, it really just is a great way to like unwind and just get my creativeness going again, you know? For academics, I want to finish senior year off strong so that NYU doesn't take back my acceptance, which they have said if they don't see the same amount of academic success that I portrayed in my application, then they have the right to rescind my acceptance, which I totally understand. So I do want to finish off senior year strong, and I want to start off college strong. I want to do really well in my first semester, and I'm really going to try my hardest to do that. I want to make a lot of new friends at NYU, which I've kind of already started. I joined this like Meet NYU 2029 page where I've just followed a bunch of people and I've started talking to some people, and I'm just really excited to get there and meet all of these people. And I also want to make sure that I'm focused on getting my degree, but I'm also focused on having fun. I don't want my entire life to be revolved around academics like it was in high school. I want to, yes, do well, but also I want to have fun and I want to go out and I want to make new experiences, especially in a city like New York. So yeah. And then finally for work, I'm going to work crazy hours during the summer. I'm going to open my availability up completely, literally just giving them free reign to schedule me whenever they want, because I want to save up money for when I get to New York so that I have money to spend on things for my dorm, clothes, and just like generally fun things that I want to do in New York when I get there, like go to a Broadway show and all this fun stuff. I also want to get a job that will allow me to transfer to a location in New York. I was thinking of quitting my job that I work right now and finding another job that I know they have a location in New York near the campus, so that I can just transfer there and it's not that much of a hassle to like figure out, okay, when do I have to apply, you know? I'm definitely going to be working in college. I definitely need to work in college because I need the money to be able to afford to go to NYU. It's just a matter of where am I going to work, you know? And then I have down on here, try and see if my job will let me become a trainer soon. I really don't think it's going to happen, but a bitch can dream, you know? But anyways, yeah, guys, those are my goals for 2025 and my 2024 recap. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I feel like it's a great first video back because it lets you get to know how my year went and how I plan to live my life from here on out. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below how your 2024 went and your plans for 2025, any New Year's resolutions that you might have, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.